Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I rise to contribute, like other honourable members who have spoken before me, and offer my congratulations to the Honourable Minister for Economy for a well-thought and articulated 2018-2019 national budget. Madam Speaker, the increased allocation of 96.8 million to the Ministry of Agriculture indicates the seriousness with which Fiji First government views agriculture development in Fiji. This budget gives flexibility to the Ministry of Agriculture and stakeholders in terms of forming partnership with each other to address common challenges that impact the growth in the sector. Madam Speaker, government identifies the urgent need to increase the budget allocated to the ministry out of its concern for the mainly rural-based and mainly remote farming communities in Fiji. Government has also shown through this budget its commitment to the uplifting of individuals through economic empowerment as a way and means of building a dynamic economy. The various programs to be implemented by the Ministry of Agriculture under this new budget will contribute immensely to fixing those challenges that currently limit the abilities of our rural people to unlock their true economic potential in the agriculture sector. Madam Speaker, the general increase in most of the allocations under the Ministry of Agriculture budget means an increase in the number of rural communities and individuals to be assisted. This will result in the increased activities and interaction between agriculture officials, farmers and the private sector. It will also lead to a general improvement in service delivery, taking into consideration the impacts of the current civil service reform. Madam Speaker, the Ministry of Agriculture through its various programs offers assistance that can guide individuals to active commercial agriculture production. There are a range of programs that address challenges in crop and livestock production faced by our farmers. This is in terms of crop and livestock commodity development program, land clearing and preparation, farm access, farmhouse, soil testing kits, new research activities, land degradation activities, and our links to stakeholders. The successful implementation of these programs should lead to increased agriculture production for domestic food needs and exports. Madam Speaker, allow me to elaborate on 2018-2019 budget and highlight various programs under the crop extension services for this financial year 2018-2019. Crop commodity development programs. Rice, Madam Speaker, the rice revitalization program has been allocated $1 million in 2018-2019 financial year. The volume of rice produced continued to increase at an average growth rate of 16% for the past 5 years. In 2017, the total rice production amounts to 9,000 tons. For the past 5 years, both volume and value of rice import have been decreasing at an average rate of 20 to 19% respectively. A total of 1,038 rice farmers were recorded in 2016. The recent opening of the new rice mill, Fiji Rice Limited at Dreketi, will provide opportunities to our rice farmers to produce more given that the mill needs to sustain itself in the long run. This budget will focus on increasing production by assisting rice farmers with the procurement of rice machines, rice seeds, agro inputs and provision of technical support. This includes assisting farmers with large holdings on 1/3, 2/3 basis for procurement of small machines. Dalo, Madam Speaker, Dalo remains the top export commodity, earning an annual average value of 23 million over the past 5 years. The 2018-2019 budget will focus on increasing Dalo production through provision of quality planting materials and agro inputs, infrastructure support and clustering of farmers. There are 6,902 Dalo farmers recorded in 2016. The Ministry has completed the Fiji Taro Industry Plan 2018-2022, which targets to increase Dalo exports to around 7,000 tons annually. Coconut, Madam Speaker, the coconut industry in Fiji is one of the major agriculture industry for food and income livelihood. Over the years, our rural dwellers rely heavily on coconut as a source of food, employment and income security. Volume of coconut export, fresh and value-added, has been steadily increasing in the last 5 years, with an average annual growth of 3%. Madam Speaker, the 2018-2019 budget will support replanting of coconut trees and development of coconut products to increase economic opportunities. Cocoa, Madam Speaker, the cocoa revitalization allocated budget will focus on the expansion of the existing cocoa plantation to meet the growing demand for the organic cocoa and the government boutique chocolate. The scope of implementation will include setting up of farmers association, capacity building of cocoa farmers, assistance to acquire bio-grow organic licenses, rehabilitation of the 120 hectares of existing cocoa farming areas in Namau, Matasawa, Levu, Kolata and Navuni, Iwi, and expansion of other small growers that guarantees better cocoa yield. The Ministry will partner with Australian Centre for International Agriculture Research, ICR, to receive technical assistance to improve the volume and quality of cocoa beans, and the additional funding requested will support this cooperation and increase revitalization activities. Yangon, Madam Speaker, kava is the second largest export earner, which has generated income stability and employment opportunities in the agriculture sector. Kava exports were valued at 19 million in 2017 and is well positioned to take advantage of those emerging market opportunities. The program will assist the industry consolidate production in existing Yamuna growing areas, introduce mechanization, cultivation of novel varieties to improve quality, reduce rejection rates through farmer training, technical services and monitoring of cultivation, harvesting and post-harvesting, and strengthening market linkages between buyers, exporters and farmers. The total number of Yamuna farmers recorded in 2016 is 12,192. This year, the Ministry launched the second Kava book, which is the first comprehensive study that has been carried out for the Kava sector. It complements our efforts to improve the consistency and the reliability of Kava production and also to grow exports of higher quality Kava products. Pineapple, Madam Speaker. Pineapple is a drought-tolerant crop as that is suitable in the dry areas of the country and is a complementary crop to sugarcane. Fiji's pineapple industry has been consistently performing well over the years. The average volume produced annually in the last 5 years amounted to 5,000 metric tons. Our main export markets for pineapple are New Zealand, Canada, Nauru, and other Pacific islands. On the other hand, volume of import has also been consistently increasing at an average volume of 0.46 metric tons annually for the last 5 years, which is mainly due to increased demand from the tourism sector. This analysis warrants government intervention to increase local pineapple production and improve quality to meet the demand of the tourism sector. This budget will also support pineapple farmers in the provision of agro inputs, planting materials, farm implements, and will focus mainly in the major producing areas such as Thailand, Ba, Bua, and Maduata. BQA farms, Madam Speaker, Fiji has 49 communities under the bilateral quarantine agreement that has open access export to New Zealand. Fiji is the only country that can supply fresh okra and daruka to New Zealand. This is growing Pacific population in Fiji, in New Zealand, and Pacific Island countries are not meeting their demand for fresh fruit and vegetables. The 2018-2019 budget will address this problem through the provision of agro inputs and post-harvest handling to our BQA farmers. Land preparation facilities, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the 2018-2019 budget on land preparation program will continue to assist farmers with land clearing and land preparation activities, including plowing, harrowing, ridging, and drainage. The facility is one of the best given that the cost of the land preparation is quite expensive. This program is the Fiji First government's initiative since it was elected in 2014. In 2017, there were 543 farmers assisted under the program, 293 in the Central Division, 228 in the Western Division, and 22 in the Northern Division. The main target of this budget is to ensure that the Ministry continues to support more farmers in the next fiscal year. Farm access, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the program involves the construction and upgrading of farm roads to facilitate the transportation of inputs to the farm and agriculture produce to the markets. The main beneficiaries of farm roads will be small-scale farmers who live along the main roads corridors, village traders, and large farmers who provide most of the goods transport for goods to the market. The 2018-2019 will target the following areas: Northern Division 30 kilometers, including the area of Tikina of Dongutuki and Tikina of Namuka, and with an estimated 200 hectares of land developed mostly for Dalo and Yangona in the next 3 years. Central Division is 18 kilometers, benefiting 600 farmers, 210 hectares of land developed mostly for vegetables, root crops, and livestock after the first year. Western 3 kilometers and Eastern 4 kilometers. Farmhouses, Madam Speaker. The construction of farmhouses is vital to farming households or cluster groups. The objective of this activity is to allow farmers or cluster groups to maximize farm hours on their farms on a daily basis rather than traveling to their farms, which normally take time to reach. For the past 5 years, the Ministry has constructed around 65 farmhouses throughout Fiji for individuals, youth, and cluster groups. And we will also be working closely with the farmers to have more farmhouses in the Tikina of Dongutuki and Namuka. Livestock, Madam Speaker, a total of 15 million has been allocated for livestock program. The focus of this program is to increase stock numbers while addressing the occurrence of animal disease at the same time. It is worthy to note, Madam Speaker, that the fight against brucellosis and tuberculosis will be an ongoing battle for the ministry, given the nature of transmission of two diseases coupled with the devastating effects of these diseases outbreak to the livestock industry. The ministry is having discussions with the stakeholders, including our bilateral partners, on how best to roll out some short-term and long-term solutions in the face of this crisis in the dairy industry. Goat development, Madam Speaker, volume of goat production for the last 5 years have been consistently increasing at an annual average rate of 27%. The only fresh and chilled goat meat exported in the last 5 years was in 2015 and 2016, where Fiji exported to Nauru an average volume of 78 kg. The new goat extension program budget, 200,000, will focus its activity on the 5 private multiplication centers Fiji-wide, 2 in the Northern Division and 3 in the Western Division. This will include renovation of infrastructures, development and implementation of goat breeding programs in order to meet farmers' demand for quality breeding stock. These farms will be supplied with new genetics from the government research station to improve quality of stock and later supply good breeding stock to the commercial farms and cluster groups. Furthermore, it will focus on the establishment of fattening farms, renovation of infrastructures and pasture to link smallholder farmers to channel quality stock through formal market structure. The additional $1 million allocated will ensure establishment of Fiji's goat meat industry through the provision of services and infrastructural development such as slaughterhouse that will grow the industry to a new height. In addition, commercial farmers and smallholder farmers will be formed into clusters to channel quality stock through the slaughterhouse to formal markets. These smallholder farmers will also be assisted with renovation of infrastructures and nutrition improvement. Livestock rehab, Madam Speaker, the livestock rehabilitation budget will focus on the dairy and beef industries to improve disease control, research and support for increased farm production. The 2018-2019 program will fund the following activities: embryo transfer program in beef and dairy, sheep breed improvement program at Nawaindumba and Batiri, dairy stock improvement and infrastructure improvement at Cornivia, dairy office equipment, plants, machines and equipments at Cornivia. To date, 144 embryos has been transferred to 144 cows in Singatoka and Cornivia Research Station, and they are expected to give birth to around 72 calves. These stocks will form part of the nucleus head, which will be the source of genetic improvement on the private farms. The new resilient breeds include Senapol, Drought Master, Wagyu for the beef production, and Brown Swiss for dairy production. The Brown Swiss breed is a proven performer under the hot and the humid weather conditions. Dairy industry support, Madam Speaker. The program in the past years have been focusing on infrastructure development, targeting the establishment of development of smallholder dairy farms. Today, a total of 131 farms in the cane belt areas in the Western Division have been established, which contribute to 9.8% of the milk production in 2017. Additionally, in the Central Division, smallholders' contribution have increased from 55% to 65% of total milk produced in 2017. For the 2018-2019 budget, the program will focus on the following targeted activities: improvement of dairy, school dairies, calf rearing program, water recirculation and expansion of dairy farms to potential areas. Pig extension program, Madam Speaker. The volume of pork production in Fiji increased by 69% from 2016 to 2017. The industry also achieved a significant increase in the total value of export from 8,000 in 2016 to 22,000 in 2017 on fresh and chilled commodities. However, import for this commodity has been consistently increasing at an annual average growth of 26% for the past 5 years. The main objective of the piggery extension development program is to introduce significant intervention measures and a move to address the increasing trend of import and the declining trend of the quality of pig supply to the registered slaughterhouses. Madam Speaker, in the previous years, the pig community received financial support from Waste Management and Rural Outer Island ROI program, which is shared with other communities. As a result, there has been a continuous decline in the carcass weight recorded by the registered slaughterhouse. However, with the new funding, it is certain to make a difference in terms of better nutrition and good dressing weights. The scope of activities will include breed improvement, nutrition improvement, infrastructure improvement, capacity building, monitoring, and evaluation. Poultry extension program, Madam Speaker, in 2017, the poultry production showed a positive growth of 10% with an export earning of around $4 million. Fiji export most of its poultry and eggs to neighboring Pacific Island countries. The 2018-2019 budget allocated for poultry extension development will be able to support development for broiler farms and smallholder duck farms, including the provision of incubation units and egg grading machines. In addition, it will enable the industry to provide much needed animal protein to the increasing population through vertical integration. The improved breeds will focus on immediate recovery, while resilient breeds will focus to address disaster risk mitigation in the rural and outer island. The scope of implementation will include the improvement of broiler, procurement of egg grading machines, and capacity building. Crop research, Madam Speaker. In 2016 and to 2017, the Ministry of Research Division conducted a survey that revealed a 30% increase in the population of coconut rhinoceros beetles. The upsurge in this pest population is a direct result on the damages incurred by the coconut industry after TC Winston in 2016. Major focused area of coconut production in Viti Levu, Vanua Levu, Taviuni, Kandavu, Lomai Viti, and Lau Group were covered in the survey. The new budget will ensure management of coconut pests and setting up of control measures to combat this infestation. These involve the use of pheromone traps, biological control agents such as virus and fungus for the coconut rhinoceros beetle, bioagents for the stick insects, coconut flat moth, and scale insect. New varieties, Madam Speaker. The Crop and Research Division has recently released two taro leaf blight tolerant varieties, Tarova Loa and Tarova Vula, and a new Kumala variety, Golden Brown, for cultivation. This initiative is a proactive approach by the Ministry to ensure that we safeguard our tallow industry. More than 170 farmers received the new variety at Cornivia Research Station during the launch last Friday. The farmers were encouraged to plant and share the materials with other farmers in the communities. The Ministry will maintain the materials at the research station for future use. Madam Speaker, construction of cold storage facilities for farm produce such as fruits, vegetables, and root crops would enable farmers to better market their produce, increase their revenue, and reduce food wastage. Construction will begin in this fiscal year on two facilities in Kabananga South and Nukulua, allowing farmers in these areas to maintain and sell fresh produce. The cold storage will maintain the quality of the produce and will also increase the amount of produce purchased from farmers. The Ministry will continue with our efforts to grow and develop the agriculture sector, and we will remain focused on a more sustainable and even development in the industry. Madam Speaker, let me state that given the commitment made by government to the agriculture sector under this budget, timeliness of implementation is critical if the objective of government to grow the sector is achieved. The Ministry of Agriculture will ensure that proper monitoring and evaluation systems are in place to monitor progress in the program implementation. At the same time, we will continue to find efficiencies and streamline our processes so that these assistance are provided promptly and to those that need most. Madam Speaker, let me conclude by stating once again my appreciation to government and the Minister for Economy for presenting to Fijians a well-planned national budget for the 2018-2019 financial year. This budget will go a long way in uplifting the living standards of Fiji and enable us to build our economy for our future generation. Madam Speaker, I extend my full support for the 2018-2019 national budget. Thank you.